Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Again, you'll notice that from the initial major sell-off, we've bounced tremendously from the mid-March lows there and have finally put in what could be a short-term top at the very least, and maybe a medium-term top at the most here. For the most part, we got very, very close to that 2,900 level. We talked about 2,900 being a very important line in the sand there that goes back quite a ways. And if price can't get through that zone soon, perhaps we could see a rotation back down, perhaps even as low as retesting the lows or perhaps taking them out. Right now, we are seeing a routine pullback within the current uptrending move. You can see this kind of channeling behavior right here, and we're kind of cycling back down. 2,700 is going to tell us a lot, perhaps as low as 2630. But that zone right there, pulling back into 2700, could provide a bounce opportunity for a shot back at 2900 or beyond. So right now, again, we're seeing a pullback at the moment. We are inside a bullish PEMA trigger zone, which means this 8-period average has been moving higher, and it's now above the two faster ones rather, and it's coming back into the zone for a retest. So if we drop down again as low as perhaps 2650 or 2630 and start to reject, that could provide a bounce opportunity for another move higher, perhaps as high as 3K. A failure to hold 2630 here would open up another rotation back down, perhaps as low as 2424 or even lower. So right now on this pullback, we will see how the market wants to respond here to this bullish PEMA trigger zone and into that 2700 level. Right now 2750 is near-term support, and that's going to be a level right now that the market is testing at the moment. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. All right, with the NQ, you're going to see similar behavior here on a pullback. Yesterday was the first day here that we've seen a lower close in quite a while. 2 days running here, and that was since this day here as well, and that was a pullback that led to the next major drive higher. Again, we're pulling back into this bullish PEMA trigger zone right here. So we could drop down easily into 8,500 right now and see a short-term bounce at 8,500. But if price were to drop a little bit lower than that, call it 8,300 or somewhere in that zone, that could provide a pullback buying opportunity for a push into 9K or perhaps beyond. We came just close here to reaching the previous month's high, and now we're rotating back again into that bullish PEMA trigger zone after price had taken it bid back in early April. So again, big time push. We haven't tested the 8-period average since that day. So on this pullback, do we begin to see some sort of buying tail that could provide another push higher? A failure to do so could open up a return to kind of wipe out that that gain that we've seen since that breakout point. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. You'll see with crude oil we went negative in the May contract of crude oil. The price of that contract went negative to, I believe, as low as -40. At least the bid-ask spread was there, to at least down to -38. That was incredible to see that contract behave that way in the market like that. That's an outlier that we've never seen before. But again, we knew there is a potential for a market to do that in certain circumstances, and that's what happened in the previous day. And now we see, not only did we think we might get a rollover gap fill back toward 1975, which we talked about on Friday and also yesterday, we've gotten that gap, but look at this market as well. The new June contract dropping 23% at the current price, but was as low as 1179 after closing the previous session in the 21s. So going from 21s and dropping 10 handles overnight was down 50% at one point. It's bounced since then. It's trading 1560 right now. If you look at the intraday time frame, whether you're looking at a 1-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, you're going to see a major rejection off of those lows which occurred in the 4 o'clock hour central, and now you're going to see absorption off the right edge between $15 and $15.50. That's going to be the zone to continue to watch today. That could be the pivot low, $15.50 there, $15 to $15.50. On that absorption, we may see a bounce back up toward 19. That could be seen. Perhaps not today, but it could develop over the course of the next day to 3 days where we bounce back up to retest the breakdown low here. So again, looks very strong right now. A failure to hold $15 on a closing basis or at any point here later on throughout the day could negate that theory. So continue to watch 15 very closely here in crude oil. Taking a look lastly at gold futures. This one's down about 2.2% right now. It has pulled back. Again, we talked about this being a short-term top the other day. It hit our 1767s, which was a target we had talked about before. From this pullback, we had that as a target. We hit it. We've seen a rejection on this day. We've seen a failed new high on this day with a rejection back at 1767, and now we've come back to the top of the key range here, and we're giving it up. So we've taken out these lows. You're seeing a little bit more of a pullback here than we've seen before. But even when we've seen these pullbacks before, we've seen this thing turn right back around. So again, we have failed to get that bounce off 1700s here. We had that move into it over the last couple of days and aren't really seeing it right now. Obviously, if by the end of the day we're back above 1700 to close the session, then we'll have a really nice rejection day that could lead to the bounce. So it's not over here, but at the same time, if we can't get back above 1700 soon, perhaps we rotate back to the recent pivot low here, which is about the 1575s and the middle of that key range. So continue to watch this battle here in this zone. Again, can price hold the intraday support zone of 1670 to retest the previous session's low of 1685 and perhaps beyond? If not, then perhaps a test back at 1575 could be ahead on a swing basis. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.